Now then everybody, it's Dan from homephysique.com. So this one has been popping up quite regularly lately through messages and also in the comments, people asking me about my split. What is it? How is it laid out? Blah blah blah. A lot of people question me. They say, oh, I thought you did Wendler 531. What day is this that you're doing when I do my my row bench day, which is an extra day that I've threaded in myself? People often say, oh, this isn't Wendler, what are you doing, sort of thing. Now, I don't really follow routines to the T, you know, I never have done. Saying that, I mean, whenever I start a routine, I always stick to it for like the first couple of cycles just to get the idea of it, but then I start to chop and change things to make it suit what I want. I did it with GST and I've done it now with Wendler. It's been effective, and like I say, what's effective for me might not be effective for you. Might be, might not, might suit you, might not. This is just what I like doing. I like spending time in the gym, so I'm not bothered. But I'll quickly go through it. I have covered this before. I think it was cycle 8 when I started doing this, but I've pretty much, I'd say, perfected it a little bit more now. It's a little bit more complete the way I do it. Quickly again, it's evening. There's going to be cars going by, so it can get quite noisy, and there's birds tweeting, but I guess it adds for a bit of ambience. So anyway, let's get into it, right? First day is the bench day. I then have an off day, then do my squat. I then do my row and bench day, where I'll start off with a pendlay row as the main lift. I'll then take a day off. I'll then do overhead press, and then I'll deadlift. Now, depending on how you feel after the deadlift, you either take an off day or you just go back and start benching again. So I know it's three in a row, you're doing overhead press, deadlift, bench. But really, you're getting a day off between the pressing, and overhead press and bench, I've never really had a problem between them. Yeah, your triceps might be a little bit fatigued, but depends on how you feel. I mean, you can usually get away with it. If you don't feel like you can do it, take a day off. It's no big deal. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? And you could always do it there, you know. You got to go off feel sometimes, and how you feel you can cope with it. But basically, that's the split, and as you can see, it is 8 days. Well, 7. Okay, so a bench day, I'll do the 5-3-1 main, which will be flat bench press. I will then do, after that, a 5x5 assisting the main lift. So we're talking close grip bench press, or paused bench press, or whatever I feel needs work. I mean, you may have seen me doing some band deadlift, you may have seen me doing some band benching, which basically helps you right at the bottom, you know, coming out of the hole. So these are all like assistance types that I'll do. So I'll do the 5-3-1 main, then I'll do a 5-5 assistance exercise. After that, I'll go into, because I'm interested in bodybuilding or what have you, I like to do a lot of volume. I like to get a lot of work done, as I feel it's really helped me. I mean, I've been cutting for most of the time, so my growth has not been optimal, as it were, but to be fair, I've still had pretty good, decent developments from it. I'll then generally go and do dumbbell work, so I usually like to do some incline dumbbells, maybe flat dumbbells, but usually I try to go for incline. Tricep work, again, I'll probably do some heavy weighted dips, or maybe some rope presses. And then I generally tend to do like some dumbbell flies as well, just because I like to get a nice stretch along my arm, along the bicep. Basically, I do sometimes get a bit tight, so I like to do it just for a stretch. I mean, I don't go really heavy on them at all. I just use them purely for stretching, and that's it really. So squat day then, what I'm doing as of cycle 12 is I do the 5-3-1 main, so I follow the right pattern, and then for my squats, I've taken to doing 10 sets of 3 reps. I really do like working in that 3 rep range. I feel you're going to get that volume in there. You're doing 30 reps altogether, but you can also work at a higher intensity, a higher load, so you can really push yourself, you know what I mean? I like to just carry on doing the same squats. I mean, you could do something else. I mean, you could use box squats, or whatever you want in front squats. You can do what you like, but I've taken to doing back squats for mains and then more back squats. I just like doing it. I think it really does work. I have added in deadlifts now. I'm going to do a 5x5 of deadlifts, mainly with what I can handle with my overhand grip. I'm just trying to bring my overhand grip up by doing that, I'm not going to be putting too much strain on myself, because obviously I can mix grip a hell of a lot more than I can overhand. But I just think it's going to do me a lot of good to have that extra frequency of deadlifting, because I've only ever deadlift once a week in the past, and so far, like I say, I've done that session now. I'm going to go in for the second one in a couple of days, or tomorrow probably, and I'll see how I feel. I feel recovered now. I feel alright. I feel like I can do okay. So, but I think having the 2 days is going to help. That's basically it for squat day. Okay, so the row bench day is basically where I threaded in the pendlay row day. Back when I did GST, I did the same sort of thing. The days on GST was something like squat, pull, press, squat, pull, press, deadlift or lift. And I found that the lift day and the pull day were okay, but I wanted that second day of benching in there, and I did it by adding this, and I made it into like basically a mix of bench and pull, and it worked really well. But what I did since starting 531 is I started doing pendlay rows. So I decided that pendlay row was a perfect exercise for a main lift using 531, because it's a very explosive lift. So that's what I'll do with that. For the main set, I'll do the 531 for pendlays, and then for the assistants, I'll do a 5-5 of bent over rows. Now, I like bent over rows a lot. Some people have said things like, "Oh, why are you doing bent over rows? You should just do pendlays. Pendlays are best," and all this stuff. I just prefer to say do both. If you like doing both, do both. I personally feel that bent rows give me a much better lat stretch, and I can get a much better squeeze, and it feels better. Pendlay rows are purely for explosive strength, just absolute primal, ripping the shit up, you know what I mean? It's a very explosive exercise. So I do both, simple as that. If you want to do both, do both. If you don't. After that, I do the bench assist again. Like I like to bench twice a week. I find it really helps. So I do a 5x5 again, bench assist. Now that's either going to be band work or close grip or pause bench. Now I've taken to doing pause bench for the past few weeks. I feel it's doing really good. So I start off with a weight and just add small amounts and just build it up. Simple 5x5, and that's it. After that, I go on to more upper back work. So you're talking things like pull-ups, dumbbell rows, seated rows, just stuff like that. Generally just to work with volume, really, because that's what I like doing. I like doing volume work. I mean, if you was looking for the bare minimum to do, just do some pull-ups and be done with it, you know what I mean? But I like to get my volume in, so that's what I do around about there. As I increase my calories, I will be doing a hell of a lot more work, because I can handle the volume more. I'm accustomed to doing it now, so that's just what I like doing. Okay, so overhead press day. I mean, sometimes you find that I don't put any videos up for overhead press days, mainly because there's times where I get slack at this point in the week, because I start to get tired. Usually, like I say, because I'm cutting, I do start to get tired around about this time. Fortunately, I'm not that bothered about my overhead press in a sense that, well, I am, but I don't feel weak in my overhead press. I'm pretty close to pressing over my body weight, or body weight at least, so I'm not really that bothered, to be honest. I'm making progress with it, I'm doing fine. What I do there is I'll just do the 5-3-1 main, and then I'll do some 5x5 assists. So just the same thing again. I'll then go on to do some isolation work for your delts, so things like lateral raises, maybe even front raises, just things like that. Just basically I'll work the delts, rear delt flies, all that shit. Traps and triceps, again, I'll probably do things like shrugs, but I generally do them heavy, so I'll follow like a 5-5, or maybe even just do, like, say, 3 sets of 6, something like that, 3 sets of 8, 4 sets of 8. Add volume the more food I'm having, and the more energetic I'm feeling. Basically, that's what it comes down to. If I come into the gym and I just don't feel energetic, I won't do as much. Simple as that. I'll make sure I do the main work and probably that, and then I'll walk out, call it a day. Triceps, if I feel that they need a little bit of extra stimulation, then I'll do something, but generally with all the benching I do in the week, it's not been very necessary, so that's that. Okay, so finally you got deadlift day. Again, 5-3-1, the main lift, just follow that pattern as normal. I then go on to a 5-5 assist, surprise, surprise. By assist, things like overhand grip deadlifts, mainly to try and bring up my overhand grip. It's don't know if you might have followed my channel for a while, you'll know that this wrist has been injured for quite some time, but it has definitely improved. That hand. And basically I do the overhand grip just basically to bring it up, but if I wanted to assist it, I would just do snatch grip deadlifts, mainly because they really helped me in getting my ass down low to the floor and getting more leg driving. So a really good assistance for deadlift is snatch grip deadlift, so give them a try. Then new to the cycle, like I said, I'm doing some extra squats. I want to squat twice a week and I want to deadlift twice a week. So I'm doing a 5x5 of squats, box squats. Again, for percentages, I will start low whilst I'm cutting and just start to add weights in by feel. I don't really like to go by the numbers too much. I don't really look too strictly into what percentage you should and shouldn't be doing. I just go off by what you feel you can do. There's been times before where I've put a weight on the bar, I've done 3 sets and then thought, you know what, I can do more than this, so I've added a little bit extra, because that's what it comes down to. You go off your instinct and what it feels like. So, but that's what I planning to do. Box squats, mainly because I really did feel that box squats helped my glutes. But anyway, there you go. So that's it basically. That's my split. That's how I do it. I hope that it's cleared up how it's laid out. I mean, to be honest, all you have to do is, if you watch one of my cycles of videos, you'll probably be able to see it, because like I said, I try to record every single session, so you get an idea of what I actually do. But hopefully that should have cleared it up for you. I mean, if you want to try it out yourself, you want to like copy what I'm doing, go for it. I mean, I don't think that there is such a thing as an advanced or a beginner routine. I think or people turn around and say things like, oh, you shouldn't do Wendler, it's for advanced people only, and things like that. Yes, I agree, you can probably do better from like a linear program, but at the same time, I think the best program you do is one that you want to stick to and the one that you're having fun with. So I've enjoyed these type of programs, I've made decent progress, so that's just the way I see it. But yeah, there you go. Please like, share with your friends, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers now.